really fun. Morrison Center tonight. Thanks for joining me. Oh, check the coat.
Oh, this is the man of the hour, man.
Is there a coat check?
I have no idea. That's
I just noticed that everybody's been. I'm just gonna light my coat. Thank you. Oh. I don't know. What do we got over here?
You got it already?
I see. There's just coats here. T-shirt.
It's mostly like an activity for
Hi. Hi. This is awesome. This is great. So how much are the t-shirts going for?
They're $12. Yeah, and you can pick a shirt that's been printed, or you can print it yourself, which is really fun.
That's really fun. Yeah, thank you. Small, I would think, huh? Let's see. I'm going to leave my coat. I wonder. We're just carrying around. What do we got going on over here? Oh my gosh, beautiful jewelry. Good evening, ladies. Good evening. What do we got here? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. The coasters. Keychains. Some keychains. Oh my gosh. I am in love. This.
That's the one. But the back looks like shit. Because I made some. I love doing it. So this one, the one that I just finished, I had done it.
How do you say this? Thobi? Thobi or?
Thob.
Thob. Thob. Traditional Arab dressing and adorning our lived experiences that both change along with its wearers. At one time, tattoos, stitches, color choices, and dress fabric told the observers what part of the Arab world the wearer was from. Following the Nakba, when people from all over Palestine were forced together into confined refugee camps, these distinctions melted together. Today, the thob is a symbol of Palestinian culture. Oh, look at this one. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Very branch dress. Very, very branch dress. I love this one. They're beautiful. I love textiles. You know how much I love textiles. Oh my gosh. Patrice, the word for embroidery. referring to the richly embroidered dresses worn by women and often indicating village origin and marital status. Motifs or patterns are a language and have variations depending on town or village, but can be read by anyone familiar with the language. Prior to the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, Palestinians lived and worked in the land of Palestine. This picture of a saddle maker depicts an already established civilization and rich Palestinian culture. Bethlehem, West Bank. August of 1997. A demonstration for peace and freedom was met with force. Following Palestinian resistance attack, the Israeli army effectively closes all Palestinian towns and villages, preventing citizens from leaving to go to school, work, or hospital. During the occupation, Israeli soldiers routinely imposed curfews on Palestinian towns and villages. They literally became prisoners in their own homes. Major cities in the West Bank and Gaza Strip have been under curfew for well over 20,681 hours since June 18th, 2002. Palestinians gathered to protest the creation of another illegal Israeli settlement. As the Oslo process proceeds, settlements continue to be built. The fact that the Israeli government continues to allocate significant funds for settlement construction indicates that there was no intention of a settlement freeze. Gaza. Palestinian coinage. Palestinian stamped in Arabic, English, and Hebrew.
Well, there's
I have. I wonder the coin that I have in my hand.
It's resin.
Did I see you have some beautiful earrings in your hand? Are you? Did I see some beautiful earrings in your hand?
I did? Nope.
Over there?
Yeah, there. I almost didn't recognize you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. The Bedouin are the nomads of the Arab world. This exhibit has been assembled as an acknowledgement of this very important member of Palestinian society. The traditional range of the Bedouins span the Arab world and cross modern secular states. The State of Israel was created. Many were forced to settle in rural parts of historic Palestine. Continued land appropriation has forced these peoples to refine how they live. Looks very comfortable. Beautiful.
Remember that? How was that for you?
When we went and took over the convention center,
Yeah.
my favorite was the security guard who was just like scoffing under his breath the whole time. He was like, "This isn't peaceful. This blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Sir, what are we doing in this bathroom?
Just walk in, yeah.
This is public property. We're allowed to be here. You're hosting the JF." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And just like 360. It was amazing.
I'm glad we got in.
I know. That was.
Oh, sorry.
It was fun. I'm like trying to be brave and do more of the like.
These are beautiful. Hi. How are you? Good. Do you make this jewelry? It's absolutely
I
gorgeous.
don't make these ones,
Right.
but I make everything else.
Everything else. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. These are beautiful. Oh, is this a little game?
Kind of.
Little puzzle?
It's just
What
like
are
a
they
fidget toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I want you to.
And what is your name?
My name is Dara.
Dara.
I need to come check out with you because I'm gonna take something if it's left, or I'm gonna commission it.
What do we have here? Turkish flour cookies. Oh, these look good. Creamy almond butter. Cocoa bread. Go see if I have a table upstairs or not. I hope so. Hi, how are you? Good to see you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find her?
Did she not? She wasn't downstairs. Oh, we told her you were here.
Oh,
I went
okay.
to go find you.
Oh no, I haven't seen her.
I'm gonna text him right now.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna text him.
You guys should know. So we didn't put out a number.
Do you know where Linda is?
She's over here at the mast. She's walking this way.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
Videotape as you please. Don't like announcers as listening and stuff.
Just stand off to the side. Okay. Are these tables on?
Did you want to stand?
For now. Then I can just sit where we are.
Remember the kids for every child is a chance to live in a world
We have our last poet for just right now. It's going to be Leah.
Hello everyone, my name is Leah and I'm very honored to be here. It's such an important thing to be doing in this time. And I just want to share a little bit of how I came to write this poem. I grew up very religious in the Christian faith, and it was always you have to support Israel no matter what. But growing up, being sheltered from the conflict, when I finally saw the truth, it just didn't feel right. I just never knew how an innocent life was meant to be political when you lose it. There's no political in losing life, especially in children. And that anger and rage inspired this poem. And I have titled it Forgive Us. And there is an Arabic line in there. I'm not a speaker, so I apologize for my pronunciation. Children run and laugh as they swing and slide. Their bodies full of happiness, sweat trickling down from all the playing. From the distance, you can hear the sweet laughter and pitter-pattering of small feet on the playground. But this is only an image dreamt of in their land. Their once beautiful land that now lays in ruins. Instead of laughter, it's a scream. Instead of swinging, it's a flying wind. Instead of sweat, it's blood pooling and trickling in the dirt. Instead of happiness, it's fear. Here, children run and play, and their innocence is protected. But there, their innocence is currency of war. Here, kids run playing tag, but there, they run not wanting to be tagged by the bombs. How long do we wait until it's considered unethical? How many children must be martyred until it's considered immoral? When will the sleeping giant awaken with its fury for justice for the innocents as it once did? But since it's not our children, it's not happening, right? It's sweeter to be ignorant of the world around us. If only it were that easy. It's baffling that we have the luxury to ignore reality, while there they have no option but to live in it, unable to choose life or death for that day. Samhuna ya Palestine, liana na nairu fajay yudan menaminyu. Thank you.
Imam Shamsuddin is running a little bit late because of the weather, but we want to invite Father George to give a little welcome to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Obviously, I cannot hear myself, so here we go. All right, we'll start from the beginning. Hello, everyone. My name is Father George Shoareb. I'm the priest of St. Elias Orthodox Church in Arvada, and it is known that our church gate is always open for everybody, no matter what faith, what age, what race, or whatever it is. We're always there. We support the community of Colorado. We have a strong community in Colorado. And we work together so hard in order to keep that community together and keep it strong. And the support we get from each other makes us really, really strong. When I came in here, I didn't know what to expect. And all of a sudden, I saw lots of new faces that I never met before. And I saw, which is more important than that, I saw lots of younger generations that really helping and working all over. And I thought, what do we need? Our people are getting killed back home. And we see everything is happening. And they claim the Muslims, the ISIS, the terrorists, and they don't mention nothing. I was born in Jerusalem, lived in Ramallah. They don't consider me. They don't want to consider any Christianity. Everything bad, they want to put it on the Muslims, and that's it. There's so many Druze, so many non-believers even. All of these people are one community here in Colorado. And after seeing what's happening and seeing the support that we get from our children, then it has to be our responsibility here in this country to support and be with our kids. Raise them right. Let them see the right from the wrong. Teach them not to hate because you're different. But you make the difference. We need to be able to sponsor all these younger generation. So when they grow up, they can represent all of us, no matter what faith we are. The faith is between us and God. But what makes us a human is how we deal with each other. And that's what we need to look at. We need to be able to sponsor all these younger generation and pay more attention to them. With what you have done today, I just wanted to say to all the staff members of this community, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And I wanted to also thank everybody for being here. Being part of something is very important. I know you've been doing this for the past 7 years. And this is it. From now on, it's not going to stop. It's like an ongoing process. And that ongoing process is going to help our kids to be something in this society. To be something special in this country. To be something special all over the world. Because we raise them right. And I'm not going to take too much of your time. just once again, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for attending such an important event that is going to help and very much is going to mold the future of our community here in Colorado. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Good, how are you?
Hey, Mo.
Good. Yes. It's okay, we'll talk to
Thank you for joining us, guys. It smells so good in here. Oh, beautiful people. Absolutely beautiful people. Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. www.pcrf.net.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to a beautiful evening, inshallah. My name is Imam Shamsuddin, and we want to welcome everyone on behalf of the Colorado Youth Outreach, the Colorado Palestinian community, the Muslim community, everybody who is a humanitarian at heart, and everyone who holds the cause for human rights and for the Palestinian cause and the situation in Gaza dear to them. Welcome everyone. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, peace and blessings upon His Prophet, peace be upon him, and greetings to all of you. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that God Almighty will bless this evening, will make it fruitful, will purify our intentions, will make this an evening of coming together, uniting our efforts, uniting our hearts for a good cause, for a cause for the children of Gaza, for a cause for the children of Palestine. And we ask God Almighty that He make us servants in His cause. He make us humble and allow us the blessings that He has given us to work in His cause. Whether those blessings are that of our voices and opportunities that we have in this land, whether the voices, whether those blessings are blessings of financial support, whether those blessings are of effort and showing up. We ask Allah, God Almighty, to bless all of us. So, inshallah, with that, I would like to welcome, first of all, thank you to Father George for his words prior to coming up here. We have met in other events as well, and I always love to see the communities coming together, and that we understand that we are one community and working together for the same cause. At this time, I would like to, I think that we have a video coming up, and we also have another speaker coming. Our video that we'll be talking about is in recognizing that over 10,000 Palestinian children have died in Gaza up to this point. So today we are gathered to honor them, and we are pledging to support the remaining 1.4 million children who still need our urgent care and support. And so we will be seeing a video shortly once the media is all figured out. And we will also be introducing a great list of speakers this evening from our community, sponsors, etc. We also have some poetry set for the evening, as well as dinner. So everybody, please get settled in. We want to remind everyone, especially those in the back, to please try to pay attention. Keep the voices low so that everybody can hear. And if you can't hear us, you can just wave us down from the back and say we can't hear you. So we'll speak up louder for you guys, okay? At this time, are we ready for the video or for video? Yeah? Okay, so we have a video. If I could draw everyone's attention to this video, inshallah, of the Palestinian children in memoriam.
Yeah, you are so beautiful. Yes, you are. You are so beautiful. Beautiful baby.
We are all part of the same Colorado Coalition to help Palestinian Children's Relief Fund and see the report. Hi, I'm Barb Zind. I'm a pediatrician in Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm happy to be part of your Denver event. Here in Grand Junction, we're having an event on the same day, so I couldn't be in Denver, but I appreciate that we are all part of the same Colorado Coalition to help Palestinian Children's Relief Fund and help any organization that's really helping Gazans and other Palestinians at this time. I've been volunteering.
www.pc.
My name is Dr. Omar Mubarak. I'm a vascular surgeon practicing in Denver, Colorado. I'm the managing partner at Vascular Institute of the Rockies and the current president of the Colorado Medical Society. I want to thank you all for supporting such a worthy cause. As a physician, I'm appalled by the catastrophic humanitarian crisis that has occurred in Gaza at the hands of the Israeli government. The world is watching, and it is important to be on the right side of humanity. No one would ever deny that on October 7th of 2023, Hamas committed an awful act when they killed approximately 1,200 people and kidnapped over 200 hostages. However, the collective punishment of Gaza's 2.3 million people, half of whom are under the age of 18, is a crime against humanity. Nearly 24,000 Palestinians have been reported killed as of the end of this week, and more are feared to be buried beneath the rubble. At the onset of this conflict, the Israeli government placed a siege on Gaza. In the words of their own officials, no food, water, medical supplies, or fuel gets into Gaza. Most of these human beings are not members of Hamas. By mid-November 2023, Israel had dropped the equivalent of 2 nuclear bombs on Gaza. This is a small enclave. It is roughly 6 miles by 26 miles in size. As CNN reported on December 14th, 2023, over half the bombs used were known as dumb bombs, lacking in any sort of guidance system that would suggest a targeted attack, but rather suggests a widespread bombing of civilians. Over 4,000 children were killed in the first month of the conflict. That is more than the entire number of children killed in the 2-year Ukrainian war, which led UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to state that Gaza has, quote, become a graveyard for children, end quote. 1.9 million Gazans have been displaced, and the neighborhoods have been leveled. The territory has been called utterly inhabitable by UN officials. As if to emphasize the indifference to human life, on December 16th, the IDF accidentally killed 3 of the hostages that had been taken by Hamas. The men approached the IDF soldiers shirtless and waving a white flag. As a physician, I'm particularly disturbed by what has happened to the medical infrastructure in Gaza. Targeting hospitals and aid workers is by definition a violation of the Geneva Convention. As of January 5, 2024, the World Health Organization reported that there had been 304 attacks on healthcare facilities in Gaza since October 7th. The Israeli forces have targeted hospitals, ambulances, and healthcare providers, as documented by many media outlets. As of January 3rd, only 13 of Gaza's 36 hospitals were even partially functioning and are operating at 3 times their capacity. Multiple media outlets have documented a lack of medical supplies and heart-wrenching stories of Palestinians receiving surgical care without anesthesia and often with questionably sanitized or inadequate medical equipment. Public health experts have been warning about outbreaks and spread of disease in Gaza. The UNRWA chief, Felipe Lazzarini, warned of, quote, an impending humanitarian tsunami as people succumb to disease and the deprivation of sanitation and unclean water, end quote. On December 29th, the WHO chief, Tedros Ghebreyesus, reported massive increases in cases of upper respiratory infections, cholera and diarrhea, lice and scabies, chickenpox, skin diseases, and hepatitis, all due to the poor sanitation. He went on to state that tens of thousands of children were in need of specialized mental health services and had been suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder with fear of imminent death. The UNICEF spokesperson, Toby Fricker, warned of the psychological impact and massive stress experienced by the children of Gaza. I am heartbroken by this disaster and severely disturbed by the fact that our government is helping the Israeli government commit acts of genocide. I want to thank everyone here for supporting PCRF, and I ask you to contact your senators and congressional representatives and demand a ceasefire now. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good evening.
So we want to thank Dr. Omar Mubarak for his beautiful message. At this time, I'd like to call Dr. Kamila Sha'ban, who will share some words with us. Dr. Sha'ban is a psychiatrist with Saba Psychiatry, and we'll talk about trauma-induced pain with regards to children. Please welcome Dr. Kamila Sha'ban.
Hang out back here. All right. Good evening, and thank you all for coming to this fundraiser. Thanks to those who have donated but were unable to come.
My name is Dr. Kamla Shaban, and I'm a Palestinian American, and by trade, I am a child and adolescent psychiatrist. I want to start by giving a brief land acknowledgement. The land we stand on at this event center once belonged to the Ute and Cheyenne tribes. Excuse me for using their English names. We must remember that the land we benefit from as Americans only benefits us now because of the genocide of the indigenous people that called Turtle Island their home. Their struggle is our struggle. I also cannot mention being a psychiatrist without acknowledging the role that medicine, and particularly psychiatry, play in upholding colonial and oppressive imperialistic powers. I reckon with this truth on a daily basis and hope through my work to break down these systems of oppression. Sorry guys, trying to stay in the right spot. We are here tonight to raise funds for the children of Gaza, who are currently enduring a month-long genocide after years of oppressive rule. Although the fundraiser is designed for Palestinian children, let us not forget the adults who are all trying to care for them and also stay alive. All those in Gaza are in need of our help. Raising funds is one key way we can do this. We must also continue pressuring lawmakers, protesting, disrupting, and calling for a ceasefire. The ongoing genocide in Gaza has and will continue to have lasting impacts on the lives and well-being of everyone it touches. In this moment, we are most acutely worried and focused on the physical safety of those experiencing violence. We must understand that there will be far-reaching consequences to this genocide, even if we were by some miracle able to achieve a ceasefire in this very moment. You've heard about the loss of life, over 20,000 people dead, and the displacement of almost 2 million people. There are also over 7,000 people who are completely accounted for, missing, unknown if they're dead or alive. There are children without parents, parents without children, families ripped apart. There's no food, water, housing, or medicine. As a psychiatrist, I'm tasked with providing care for the mental health of my patients. Medicine, and sometimes even the general public, often try to push aside mental health as if it were a secondary or separate entity. But remember, there's no physical health without mental health, and vice versa. The brain is intricately linked with the body, and one does not function without the other. Violence has a lasting effect on the mental and physical functioning of our bodies and our society. This is not the first wave of violence against the people of Gaza and Palestine, though the intensity of death and destruction unfolding around us has not been seen before. The children of Gaza have always known trauma. Even those who may never have witnessed violence before have had their genetic makeup changed by the trauma their ancestors have borne. There are so many forms of violence that our children face. The violent regime of Israeli occupation itself has traumatized Palestinian youth in the same way that the oppression of racism harms and traumatizes our Black, Indigenous, and populations of color here in the United States. The Palestinian people are resilient and will continue to show their resilience. Existence is resistance, and we refuse to stop existing. Throughout Palestine and the diaspora, there will always be a Palestine. But children should not have to be so resilient. Children should have the joy of childhood, freedom, play, and a life without violence. This has never been afforded to the children of Gaza, nor to any resident of Gaza. Childhood is tainted by occupying forces. Childhood is a time of development. The brain develops in specific phases throughout your life, but prior to age 18, there are 5 distinct areas of development. In order for these phases to pass seamlessly from one to the next, a child must have some sense of safety. During a genocide, there is no safe place, and Israel has made sure that there is nowhere safe for any person in Gaza right now. Exposure to trauma in childhood can change the structure and functioning of the brain. These changes not only influence how a child will behave, but how their bodies will function. Society and social connectedness are also a huge factor in development. Our connections to each other are necessary not only to survive, but to thrive. Isolation has detrimental effects on mental health and development. The breakdown of social structure and supports will have lasting implications for the children of Gaza. Part of safety is the ability to connect and rely on others. Our children will need our support more now and in the years to come. You have all likely heard of a psychiatric disorder called post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome disorder. This disorder represents the psychological changes and difficulties people show when they've been victims of trauma. To put it simply, PTSD occurs in PTSD, a traumatic event puts the brain's fight or flight system into overload. It prevents the brain from recognizing safety and keeps the body in high alert. And if there is never a safe place to process your trauma, your body will not come out of this process. PTSD can cause lifelong disability and disruption, loss of livelihood, poverty, substance use, missed wages, undereducation, and poor social connection are all consequences of PTSD, not to mention the increased likelihood of death by suicide. This disorder does not get into the full effects of complex and continued trauma, such as living in a police state or living with lack of resources. PTSD affects brain functioning by disrupting developmental processes, by keeping someone locked in a moment of trauma. If there are so many moments of trauma that your brain can't decide what is safe, your entire physiological response to the world will be affected. The children of Gaza remain at great risk even when the violence is over. Remember, the brain is responsible for the entire body. Chronic illness is more common in those who have experienced trauma than those who haven't. Other mental health disorders are more common in those who experience trauma, regardless of a diagnosis of PTSD. The social functioning of our children is also affected. Again, poverty, homelessness, loss of education, starvation, and loss of social supports all affect brain development. Even after the bombs stop dropping, Gaza will need our help. The long-term effects of genocide have been studied and show the need for continued support to those who have lived through and experienced this violence. We have all gathered together tonight to show our commitment to the people of Gaza. This commitment lasts longer than tonight. It lasts longer than the end of violence and genocide. It must continue to address the needs of generations of Palestinians to come. This is not the only time we will call on you to provide support for those in Gaza. But take heart, there is always hope. Although the brain changes of trauma were once thought to be irreversible, we are now learning that there is much we can do to change course. Brains continue to develop throughout adulthood. We are not stuck in our ways. So know that you can have a continued impact on the healing of a nation. Let that guide you into your advocacy work, your continued donations, and your continued engagement in this process. The work that we do has meaning and impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sha'ban, for your words of wisdom and perspective from the trauma perspective that children are going through. I also want to thank you for reminding us that this struggle, the struggle of the Palestinian people, is intertwined with the struggle of all native and indigenous peoples, the people of this land and the people of the African American struggle. So we have to realize a lot of times as people who come from immigrants and are still establishing ourselves, or our parents establish ourselves in this land, sometimes the immigrant struggle just to get established and build homes and this and that, we forget that this struggle is very closely intertwined with other indigenous peoples. And so we have to leverage and use those communities and work together on areas of agreement. And I also was reminded during this talk that there's a lot of information, and a lot of times we can think that it's complicated. But at the same time, as we keep being reminded, this is very simple. It's not complicated. The issue is very simple. And so at this time, I would like to call someone up who knows a lot about complicated stuff, but he'll simplify it for us. And that is Attorney Qusair Muhammad Bai, who is Brother Qusair is a prominent civil rights attorney who has litigated cases, including cases of Elijah McClain, among others. Please welcome to the stage Attorney Qusair Muhammad Bai.
Assalamu alaikum. So, I'm blessed to be one of the many lawyers who work at, this way? So I'm blessed to be one of the many attorneys who work at the law firm of Rathod Mohammed Bai, my colleague Azra, and my wife Andrea are here. And we have seen in our community a tremendous, almost I would say close to what we saw after September 11th. increase of discrimination against Muslims in Colorado. We're particularly seeing it in schools, particularly the Cherry Creek School District, and we're seeing it in work. People are engaging in social media. We're seeing jobs being rescinded. We're seeing people being dragged into HR, having to explain why they are supporting Palestinian children. And so I'm here to tell you, as one of the owners of the largest civil rights law firm in the country, that if any of this nonsense is happening in our community, I want to know about it, and I'm going to stop it. So please, unless we know about it, we can't help you. And our law firm will help you through these processes, all right? But what is most important, and probably the most disappointing, is that we only have 2 elected representatives up. 3?
Iman.
Oh, is Iman here?
Iman's at the march in DC.
Okay, well, Iman. But here, present, present here are 2 of our community's greatest allies at the legislature. These 2 unbelievable individuals support our community at tremendous personal peril. And it's really important for us to know who our voices are at the legislature. And when election time comes, and these 2 are up for election all the time, they need money and they need your vote and support. That's right. Because they have been our support at the legislature. And they've been almost, including Iman, our sole support at the legislature. So I'm proud to introduce my 2 friends, Elizabeth Epps and Tim Hernandez.
Thank you for that. I am State Representative Elizabeth Epps. I don't usually introduce myself that way, but I don't know how long I'm going to get to say that. So I'm going to say it every time I can. My pronouns are she, her. I know a lot of things. I know that since I was born, my mama has been telling me to say Free Palestine. I didn't even understand until I was an adult how radical it was that I didn't grow up with any Muslim friends in Northern Virginia. I had a lot of Jewish friends, and at their bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, we took up collections to support Palestine. And I deeply blame those friends for teaching me the things that have gotten me in trouble at this point, good trouble. Another thing I know is to never, ever, ever speak after Tim Hernandez. He mentioned, I'm going to say this for just a couple minutes and I'm not going to cry. I'm an abolitionist. Is anyone here an abolitionist? So what I mean when I say that is that I do my work from a starting premise that people should have what they need to be healthy, safe, and free, that it is our responsibility to provide it for them, and that people don't belong in cages. And it shouldn't be that controversial of a position. When I ran the first time several years ago, they spent $1 million, maybe they should have spent a little more, telling folks what I'd said about Palestine. I want you to know, I've got some radical ideas, but Free Palestine isn't one of them. That's one of the real baseline ideas, right? Liberation isn't one of my more complicated ideas. In this moment, it's a precious thing and it's honorable to realize I might lose my seat over this. And folks have asked me, are you really willing to lose your elected seat over Palestine? And all I can think is, I'm so sorry I ever gave you any doubt. That's all I can think is, how could you know me and think that was up for issue? That's right. I want to say this, y'all, and be real clear that I don't mean this in a transactional sense. It's not that it's a tit for tat, or, I've seen a lot of people lately saying, we supported you at this and you don't support us now. And I'm like, so it's a currency exchange? But I was raised by Black feminists who taught me that nothing I wanted would I ever get if Palestine wasn't free. It was taught to me in a literal way that the things I wanted here could not be achieved if Palestine wasn't free. And so as an elected official, we get asked a lot, or I've been asked, he's my son's age, so we we've been asked what we condemn. And I got a long list. I condemn genocide. I condemn ethnic cleansing. I have a lot of feelings about apartheid. And I was raised by a black woman who had me thinking, this is only relevant if you're only over 40, had me thinking that I alone ended apartheid in South Africa because we didn't use baby powder, because we boycotted Johnson & Johnson. So I'm raised in that tradition, and so when I hear folks tell us that we're supposed to focus on local issues, it's giving shut up and dribble. But when we're told to focus on local issues, these same folks didn't have that position when we passed a whole law forbidding boycotting in an international context. Last spring, he wasn't in office yet. There was a day, there's 100 legislators at your Capitol. Every single desk, someone had put an Israeli flag on. In the course of 120 days, there's not another country, not even America, that the flag was put on our desk. So how do you now say focus on local issues? As if I'm to tell my Palestinian constituents, Tim, as I pass this to him, two things. June Jordan, our young one, started us with poetry. Please tell me someone here knows who June Jordan is. In the back, I see the black folks in the back, okay? So I see you. June Jordan, look her up, write it down. This is your homework, seriously. June Jordan told us 4 decades ago that she had a 2-part litmus test for morality. 2 questions that she asked. You don't have to tell it to me. Somebody raise your hand if you know what June Jordan said. How she knew a person's moral character was based on 2 questions, and I should give you the context and say this is an American black woman in the South, okay? She said the 2 questions were, how do you treat, she would have said gay, but how do you treat queer folks? And the second one was, what is your position on Palestine? And that how you answered that question told her everything she needed to know. In November of last year, our governor called a special session and there was a bill about food stamps, about EBT, about summer benefits for children who are hungry in Colorado. And in the tradition of those who've come before me, I suggested that Colorado tax dollars shouldn't go to fund a blockade and shouldn't go to fund penalizing children in Gaza. This was a controversial position. And this amendment to this bill, 65 of us in the House, I really am almost done, but there's 60, I want you to know this, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but I might have caused enough trouble that he can get through. 65 of us in the House. Sunday night, this amendment was brought. It was supposed to die on a voice vote. I knew it would die, but at least it would be on the record that we would look back and see somebody in Colorado tried. And when I brought this amendment that just said we would not spend our tax dollars, it's hummus and dates is what it boiled down to, but that we wouldn't support these businesses, I told this young man, I don't mean young in a patronizing way, but I told him, I said, Tim, if 1 or 2 people are with me, and there's a possibility, there's a couple folks who might have been with me, you can be with me too. But if it's only me, don't you dare stand up with me. Do you get it? Where I'm like, he's already in the spotlight. So if there's several of us, be a part of it. But if it's only me, just let it be me. He looked at me like I had 2 heads. Like he couldn't even understand what I was saying. And sure enough, and the point of this story is vote blue no matter who is not gonna cut it. But that night, I stood there for 40 minutes and sobbed because my whole life I thought they must not know what's happening in Palestine, right? They must not know, because if they don't know, then that explains why they don't care. But to find out that they know, and he stood there for 41 minutes in solidarity as we lost. And it's a beautiful thing to be on the right side of this. I want you to know, I mean, people don't even know that there are Afro-Palestinians, that this is our heritage too. It is an honor to be with you. Electoral politics is not gonna save us, but Tim might. June Jordan said, I was born a black woman and I've become a Palestinian. Against the relentless laughter of evil, there is less and less living room. Where are my loved ones? It is time for me to make my way home. This is Representative Timothy Hernandez.
Don't ever speak after Elizabeth Debs. Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you here tonight. My name is I don't remember. My name is Tim Hernandez. I'm your kid's favorite public school teacher and your lawmaker, homie. I just happen to have a job in the state capitol where we're working on some laws that would not support apartheid and would not endorse economies that are exploitive to occupied territories where we know that there are hungry children too. I should explain myself and introduce myself. Elizabeth has a longstanding reputation on this issue. I'm just younger, so I have less time to go from. But I'm 26 years old. I'm the first member of Gen Z elected to the Colorado State House. And we can clap because it's first, but we understand it will not be the last. I'm looking at Abdullah, right? I'm hoping and hopeful that folks really inherently understand why my generation comes into the position on the side of Palestine. I think it's important to understand that I'm a kid that grew up in Colorado where I was afraid to die in schools because of mass shooters and our political infrastructure being willing to get out of bed with weapons manufacturers, that we were too afraid to take on guns, and so kids like me had to be afraid to die in a school. Why then would a generation that understands our country's relationship with weapons manufacturers not be able to put together that our weapon manufacturers and our political infrastructure are in bed across the world too? That why would we not understand that if we are going to confront guns and weapons here in the United States, that we have to confront them abroad, that we cannot endorse an economy built upon human suffering abroad, especially right now in Palestine? And I'll share this with you because I do think it's deeply important that you understand the place that I come from. I'm not just, I'm a teacher, so I care deeply about young people. Understanding that 50% of the people in Gaza are young people is a deep, deep fact to me. I wish more of our colleagues who were teachers would stand for all young people and all children. But I come into this conversation because I'm also a Chicano. And for anybody who knows about the history of the Chicano movement here in Denver understands that there are folks in our community, folks that I was raised by in my family, who understand that this might be an occupied territory too. For a lot of folks.
Yep.
And I think it's important, and so that I just want to say thank you so much for having me, but more importantly, how disappointing that we live in a country more willing to make profit on death than to house homeless people who are sleeping on the streets in what is going to be the coldest weekend of the year. There are people who will die this weekend on the streets of Denver because they were poor, and we will be giving our tax dollars to go fund a genocide on the other side of the world. These aren't new ideas. These are not new ideas. These ideas come from my ancestors. They come from our ancestors. They come from all of us. What I deeply believe about all of our people is, one, Palestine will always be free. And two, the reason it will be free is because every once in a while I think our societies operate on generational timelines. Right? I'll explain it for my people. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo happens in 1848. There's resistance there too. 50 years later, there's a Mexican revolution fought by Ricardo Flores Magón from the United States in Texas and California, and they confront colonialism in their way. 50 years later, in Denver, Colorado, the Crusade for Justice begins the Chicano movement and claims that we should uplift ourselves out of occupied territories, that we are not interested in peace, we are interested in liberation, and there are different consequences to what we fight for. And where we're at right now is 50 years after that. I hope and I pray for young people. I see a lot of young people in this room. I hope that we understand that we are not fighting for peace. We're fighting for liberation. Because we fight for liberation, 50 years from now, we will do this again. And 50 years from now, we will do this again. We will confront ourselves and colonialism until we shed an epistemic skin that requires human suffering. And Palestine will forever be free. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to to our representatives, Representative Elizabeth Epps and Tim Hernandez, for their powerful words and for connecting us again to those struggles. We have to ask ourselves, are we willing to sacrifice that which is valuable for us? So we see people that are dying and their children have been massacred and they're picking up pieces of their bodies and they're saying, these are people who believe in God. And so they're saying, God, we are pleased with your decision, because ultimately we know that the decisions are from you. So they're saying, we are pleased with your decision, but please be pleased with us. And so what I'm hearing from our representatives as well is they are doing the right thing and they're fighting the right struggle and they're doing it because it is the right thing to do. And so we have to ask ourselves, are we being wise in how we're doing business transactions and with our customers and things like that? But are we also standing for what is the right thing to do because it is the right thing to do? So thank you to our representatives and thank you to our brother Qusair for their efforts and support always. Now at this time I'd like to bring our brother Muhammad Adwan. He is our host for this evening and he is the one who is providing the hall and all of this space for us. And so we'd like to thank him and appreciate him. Can I have a round of applause for Muhammad? And he will, inshallah, share a few words with us as well. Welcome.
I don't know how I can follow what they did earlier. It's going to be very tough, but I'll try. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Adwan. On behalf of me and my business partners who are sitting here, we're honored to be part of this. We're honored to host this event to help our brothers and sisters in Gaza. I grew up in the West Bank, and I remember I was just 6 years old when Israeli soldiers and IDF comes into our small town and start shooting bullets and get tear gas on us. And every time it happened, it's like a celebration, because it's the same exact scenario where my mom cuts a bunch of onions and hand it to me at age 6 and she says, go out there and give it to everybody who needs it. And this is how it works. When you have tear gas in your eyes, you hold the onion so close to your face and somehow you don't feel the pain. So I done that for a while. Yes, I was the kid who got chased by the soldiers on a weekly basis. Until this day, I have nightmares. And they come after a stressful day, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, that I am being chased by the Israeli soldiers. But luckily, they have never caught me or I never been shot in my dreams. This is the brutal occupation. Even when you are on the other side of the world, the trauma follows you, as Sister Kamla said so. And it never goes away. Imagine what's happening to our people in Gaza and the West Bank. It's heartbreaking. It's confusing, beyond any imagination. To witness such a crime against our children and women and innocent people. Do you wake up sometimes in the morning confused? Was it a dream or is it a reality? I'm not sure, but it's not a good feeling at all. Sometimes, I know for myself, when I wake up in the morning, I feel guilty looking at my own kids because of what's going on. I'll take a breather. In the past 3 months, we have met with many representatives in Colorado. We have met with the 2 senators they represent us. I want to say special thanks to Iman Judah, and most importantly, her amazing husband, Maitham, who set up all those meetings for us. We realize that in order to help our people, politicians have to take humanitarian side and have to fight for us. But the reason they don't is because they are not hearing from us and we are not as organized as we should as a community when it comes to voting. So here's what we are working on as a community to make a difference, to have a political vote, to have peace, and to have our representative vote for peace instead of voting for more bombs to Israel to commit more genocide. And here's the plan. We will be involved and connected with politicians through hosting dinners. We will be donating to campaigns so they know we exist. And we have to have the business community involved in hosting dinners and involved in the political arena. The number 2 thing that we will be working on is to mobilize voting through our communities and to vote as one unit on issues that we believe in. On behalf of me and my team who are sitting between you, a lot of them are sitting between you, and some of them already spoke, like Dr. Omar. We are working every day to organize our business community and also our young generation to mobilize and organize our voting effort in this journey. Once political runners take a notice of our community and our organization, they will be chasing us for our votes. And they know we are the ones who will decide their fate because we got the numbers. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have dinner. So I'm going to give you a few words just about dinner. Number 1, after this location being sponsored, everything this evening is being sponsored and covered. And the reason for that is that so all the donations and everything that is raised tonight will go directly to Palestine, inshallah. So all of the food is being 100% covered and donated by Jerusalem Restaurant and by Phoenician Grill. So let's give them a round of applause. Remember the people that don't have food as you sit down and you eat and you patiently wait in line. We'll have a few people that are going to call tables. And this event, if we can have a round of applause for the people who organized it, all of them are under the age of 22, basically. And why that is important is because we have to talk about passing the struggle on to the next generations. So my older uncles and respected elders here, when they came, and maybe in the 80s and the 70s, you could not fill a room like this. And maybe you had a few tables and you were doing your best. So I have good news for you and glad tidings that the struggle is very alive and very real. So let's give a round of our applause for our elders as well. Okay, so look for how far you have come. The struggle is continuing. I'm going to hand off the mic now to the people that are going to do the numbers. I think we're going to do tables 1 through 5 first, and then after that we'll call you up. Again, thank you for your grace and your patience as everyone gets their food. There is 3 lines, and the food is all the same in all 3 lines. So stick to those 3 lines so we can move quickly fast after that, and then we'll continue with the program and the fundraiser following. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. Tables 1 through 5 at this time.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. just an announcement. We have downstairs a merchandise table. We have jewelry being sold, a farmer's market, t-shirt printing. So if you guys want to go check that out, we also have a museum down there. So go check that out. Enjoy yourselves. All the sales go directly to donations as well. So, and enjoy the food.
Or start
The bathroom? No.
اهلا وسهلا اهلا بيك انا الله يخليك
I think it's over there.
Here, I'll show you.
What is her name?
Mira.
Mira. I have her unveiled with her doll at one of the marches. She was showing off her doll. Yeah. She's beautiful. You're beautiful.
We're ready for tables 5 through 10. 5 through 10. You guys can get your food now.
Nice. Everybody looks so beautiful. lovely. It's really nice. Videotaping? Oh my god.
11 through 15. If you haven't gotten your food, you can get up now. 11 through 15. This camera, I feel like it's going to record everything. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's live. Tables 21 through 25, if you haven't gotten up to get your food, this would be the time. Wait, what? Tables 26 through 30, if you haven't gotten your food, you can get up now.
Hi. How are you? I helped myself to the fridge. Okay. Omar was like, I don't know if you want to come do it because I don't want people to think I'm serving. No, you're good. Don't worry. This is the. Oh shit, it's on live. On the rocks?
Tables 31 and up, you can get up and get your food. 31 and up.
My father's West Bank. Sahran. Last name Sahran, his name is in the flavor. Yeah, it's not right. Oh, it's not right. My father is there. Born in Jerusalem. But he said, yeah. But family's been there forever.
If you haven't gotten food, you can get up. And also, if you'd like leftovers, you can get up and get some as well.
Are you trying to do that here? I'm a professor at Colorado State. Yeah. And yeah, my wife, she's from Jaffa. Nice. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, is that right? You have a business card? I don't know if I can carry one. I might. You're right. Yeah. I'm part of the Ethiopian church. Yeah, like I baptized my children there. My parents are Marokkaans. This is in Alvada. Nice. Is that right? Are you serious? That's amazing. Are we raising money for the community? Are we? Like, it's not fundraising things? My wife is from Montreal. The community is large. We have a lot of money. Like lots of money. We've produced billionaires. And I tried to convene them. Yeah, like I just sent a message to WhatsApp.
Behind the speakers? Oh. Announcement, everybody. Donation for the masjid. No, I'm just kidding. Whoever's parked in front of La Pachanga nightclub, can you please make sure your car is parked facing the club and not parallel to the club? It's like you're just gonna have to orient it like 90 degrees. So if you're parked in front of it, can you please go do that? Thank you. Again, they couldn't hear me? Oh. Who's listening? Can you guys hear me? Quiet coyote, quiet coyote, quiet coyote, quiet coyote. Bella. Okay, whoever's parked in front of La Pachanga nightclub, can you please make sure your car is parked facing the club and not parallel to the club? You got it? Oh, you guys got it? Bella, this one, Bella.
Yes, I'm going to look you up definitely. You have my phone number. I do. I want to thank you so much for your words. It's a pleasure to meet you. We'll see you. Thank you. Other questions?
2 things.
كيفك اول شيء سوري اول ما شفت ذكرتك كزري الله يسعدك بدي اعرفك ابو نجوم اهلا وسهلا شفتك شفتني في عزاء ابو محمد العدوان اخوه ابن اخوه موجود هناك وانا كنت بذكره بالضبط انا شايفه هناك
كنت لابس صليب انت تلمع بس
لا احنا اليوم احنا بنحكي عن قضيه وهاي خشب فلسطين واحد
حلو نعم حياكم الله شرفنا لازم نستمع اكثر ونتعشى سوا هيك
جمعات بدنا سترونج هون بس كواليتي
ان شاء الله
حبيبي الله يخليك
شرفتنا الله يسلمك ليك انا كنت صور الاربعاء على راسي اي اسئله not at 3 let's say from 10 to 11 and when one is not
جوزي كوستاريكا خلاص يعني متجوزين 35 سنة خلاص سهل المهم عندي بس رياضة
على قولتك
Right?
تمام ما شاء الله يا
Can everyone please take their seats? Our program is about to resume. Please take your seats.
ما شاء الله عليه يا حبيبي الله يحفظك يلا كيف ان شاء الله
Again, everyone please resume. We're trying to resume our program, so please return to your seats. In about a minute, we're about to begin.
يا مرحبا كيف
هلا حبيبي والله.
روبوت اليمين
Testing.
Looks like it just hurt. It's really good.
How you doing? Public works. You know, I have been to your summer festivals. Oh, have you? 3-4 years in a row. I love it. I've done my certificate for flowers.
I had some food. It's really good. I'm having a little dessert now. I don't know what it is, but it tastes really like cornbread. But it's sweet. It's really good.
Two drinks. Anyhow, it's so nice to meet you.
It's wonderful night. Thank you for treating us.
You know, I'll run you around. All right.
I believe there's more. More to come.
Okay. Which thing? All right. You know what? Just look for my house. Okay. It's way over there. Okay. No problem. Okay. Hello. Greetings.
Greetings. Nice to see
What's
you.
your name?
My name is Carol.
Say again?
Carol.
Oh, Carol.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
My name is Rob.
Yes. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Nice
Okay.
to see you, Rob.
Hello. I saw you.
Thanks for joining us at the Palestine Children's Relief Fund.
على الطاولة.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, at this time, if I could have your attention towards the front of the stage. This is a brief video that will be talking about PCRF. If you do not know about PCRF, PCRF is Jam'iyyat Ighathat Atfal Palestine, which is the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. And so if we could, as you finish your food and get some sweets and tea, please settle in as we get some more information about what exactly is PCRF, in which we will be supporting this evening in the cause of the people of Gaza and Palestine. Bismillah.
Established in 1992, the Palestine Children's Relief Fund has grown into one of the most effective non-profit, non-political humanitarian relief organizations in the world. Over 2,000 sick and injured children have been sent abroad for free medical care that they cannot get locally. Thousands of doctors and nurses all over the world have volunteered their time and expertise to provide tens of thousands of sick and injured children free medical care in local hospitals in Palestine, Jordan, and Lebanon's camps. We run humanitarian relief and print sponsor medical care and surgery for refugee children in Jordan, orphans and amputees, and the communities being impacted on the ground throughout the region. The only two public pediatric oncology departments in Gaza and the West Bank, and a new pediatric intensive care unit and a pediatric cardiology department in the Palestine Medical Complex in Ramallah. PCRF has received the highest 4-star rating from Charity Navigator for keeping our administrative costs low while providing a high level of transparency. Volunteer chapters and communities all over the world are the strength of our grassroots efforts. We are proud to provide medical and humanitarian relief collectively and individually to Arab children throughout the Levant, regardless of their nationality, politics, or religion. Please join us by visiting www.pcrf.net to support our humanitarian work.
عندك شوفت؟
Sorry. No, you're good.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you all for your attendance tonight.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. If everyone could please take a seat, we're going to continue with the program here.
I just want to give you guys just a minute. If you guys can please just give us just a second. I really want to highlight today's evening. This is one that, this is a historic first for our community. This is an event put on by the youth, and I want to acknowledge the youth before we go on. So if you are a youth participating in this program, whether you are a speaker, if you are an organizer, if you are, a participant, please stand up and recognize yourself. Come on, all the youth that helped support and design this program. All of you guys are sitting down. All of you guys are sitting down. Stand up, stand up. All the youth. Okay, young adult, youth, how about that? There we go. There is more of you guys sitting down, but I want to highlight these two sitting here. These are the leaders of this group. This is our ability from the community to pass it down. So Robasus, Yazansus, your brother, and many other young professionals and young organizers. I really want to give them an applaud for doing this historic event. Okay. All right. Well, while we go on behalf of the youth, along with these people, I consider myself youth. But I want to thank you guys for your attendance tonight. My name is Rima Wahdan. I'm actually the co-president of Al-Bira Society, which is a city in Palestine, and I am proud to be from that city because we can never take down our Palestinian identity. And so I'm really proud of that. I am proud to Vivian Khalaf. We're grateful for your attention and support for the current, because of the current onslaught against the Palestinians in Gaza. We are here to martyr the 10,000 children who are no longer here with us. We are here to honor our martyrs, and we are here to recognize that these children do not have the same opportunities that our children have in America. They do not have access to food, water, shelter, and above all, safety. So we thank you for leaning into this important humanitarian catastrophe. And let me just preface that this is one of many events that we will be hosting, because the onslaught in Palestine is going on today and tomorrow, and it's going to be going on, and we hope that it will end. But your support and your continued support has to be with us as we march step to save all the Palestinians from this catastrophe. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! So the people of Gaza deserve nothing less. We are honoring two organizations tonight, the Red Crescent Society, and there's information on the back wall, but we're also recognizing the Palestinian Children Relief Fund. Tonight, we highlight PCRF, and it is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you tonight a chairwoman of PCRF. She's an international immigration rights attorney. She's a mother, she's a friend, she's a former member of the Al-Bira Society, and we are super proud of her progression and what she has done and how she's dedicated herself to the Palestinian cause. So we are thankful to you, Vivian. We really thank you for being here with us tonight.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Rima. I want to thank our sponsors, the organizers, each and every one of you individually and collectively for being here this evening. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I first want to say that I have never been more proud to be a Palestinian than I have been in the last 101 days. I don't know if everybody heard the video. It was a bit choppy, and there's a lot of people in the back that probably didn't get the opportunity to hear everything. PCRF, the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, is an organization that has been in existence since 1992, well over 30 years. It is comprised of thousands of volunteers here in the United States and around the world, hundreds of medical professionals, doctors, nurses, medical technicians, pharmacists who dedicate their time, their volunteers. We have sponsored over 2,000 children who have left Palestine for treatment abroad because we couldn't offer them the services within Palestine. We've sponsored thousands of medical missions to Gaza and the West Bank over the last 30 years. And we would have never been able to do it without the donations of our generous supporters all over the United States. And I'm sure there's many around the world, not in the US. And I'm sure there's many of you here tonight. So thank you for your trust and thank you for your continued support. Living conditions have always been difficult in Gaza, even before October 7th. But in the last 101 days, Gaza has become a living hell. Tens of thousands of people, mostly women and children, have been killed or injured. Over 1,000 children are either trapped, missing, or presumed dead. A public health sector disaster is unfolding. Infectious diseases are spreading in overcrowded shelters as human waste and sewage spills over. Some 180 Palestinian women are giving birth daily amidst all of this chaos. People are facing the highest levels of food insecurity ever recorded. And the UN has said this. Ever since they started recording and writing down numbers, they have never seen anything like this before. We often hear that famine is around the corner in Gaza. My friends, famine has arrived in Gaza. Over half of the population, and we've heard this time and time again, but I always like to reinforce it, half of the population in Gaza are under the age of 18, children. Over 1.1 million children are packed into the most populated territory in the world, the majority of whom are displaced, along with their families, and are staying in overcrowded shelters that are run by UN humanitarian agencies. Or they're littered all over the grounds of hospitals. Thousands of families are also sleeping in the open air as temperatures begin to plummet. For children in particular, and that's where PCRF's focus is, over the last 100 days, we have seen nothing that is short of traumatic. Children have seen nothing but trauma. No food, no water, no school. Nothing but the terrifying sounds of bombs, explosions, and falling buildings. Children are sustaining complex injuries who need multiple surgeries. They've sustained burns on over 50% of their bodies. The photos that we're receiving are horrendous. They're being treated when they can get treatment without sufficient medical supplies. They're having surgery and having to suffer through the pain with a couple of tablets of what's equivalent to Tylenol. No morphine is available in these hospitals. Amputations are being performed as a method of first resort because surgeries are not possible, and they are occurring without sufficient anesthesia. Hospitals don't have fuel to operate any generators that they still may have that are functional in order to power things like ventilators and suction machines that are needed for surgery. We have all seen the images on our television screens of doctors performing surgeries with the light that is shining from their cell phones. And this continues to happen as we speak. Areas where civilians were told to relocate for their safety are being bombed to rubble. Hospitals are being targeted and attacked. And the few that are partially functioning are hanging by a very, very thin thread. They are overwhelmed. They lack the necessary supplies and are flooded with people seeking safety. And now more than ever, we need to question the morality and the legality of striking medical facilities. There is no safe haven in Gaza, not even in a hospital. PCRF was the first organization to establish a pediatric cancer department in Rantisi Hospital. That has been bombed. Our children don't have anywhere to go to receive their chemotherapy drugs. So the injuries that they're sustaining as a result of the war are being compounded because they previously suffered from cancer, from diabetes, from all sorts of chronic illnesses. More than 100 children, more than 10 children a day lose a limb in these 3 months of brutal conflict, with many losing multiple limbs. Amputees are very near and dear to our hearts at PCRF. We've brought tens of them here to the United States and given them prosthetics. 6 of these children have been killed in the last 100 days. And 1 employee of PCRF has also been killed along with his family. And 1 other who was a field worker as well. He was one of the children we brought, and he received a prosthetic like one of the 6 I just mentioned, Azzuddin Nawasra, has died. Our Gaza manager was displaced from his home in northern Gaza since the early days of this catastrophe, only to be displaced time and time again, and is continuously in search of safe shelter, as thousands and hundreds of thousands are. I don't have to tell you that almost 3 months later, he has not found safety, and he and his family are constantly relocating. They are tired, they are hungry, and they're afraid. We've lost contact with almost all 45 of our employees in Gaza, and only recently were able to reestablish very sporadic communication. Every time we manage to get him on the phone, all he says is, "We don't want food, we don't want anything but the bombs to stop. We want this nightmare to stop." The information he gives us is nothing short of heartbreaking. It's all about death, injury, disease, hunger, lack of fuel, lack of electricity, and a devastated healthcare system. It is well understood that violence, war, and conflict causes civilian casualties, pain, and suffering. We all know that. But most of us, if not all of us, have never, ever seen this level of suffering to the degree that we are now witnessing. And the onslaught is paralyzing even the largest of humanitarian organizations, rendering them unable to do their work. PCRF has experienced a similar fate, but has managed to remain on the ground with the very limited staff that we have to do whatever is possible. While PCRF's role has pivoted to focus on emergency humanitarian relief, that is not where our focus has historically been in Palestine. The mission of PCRF is to provide medical care and life-saving treatment to children who are unable to access it elsewhere, and then continue to follow up on their recovery and progress to ensure that the treatment is complete and the child regains agency and a sense of faith in his or her ability to handle life moving forward. While our medical missions of volunteer physicians have been temporarily halted in Gaza, We hope to resume them as soon as it is safe. We need to remember that these children in Gaza are not suffering the types of injuries that are going to be treated with a single surgery. These are children whose bodies grow and change and will need multiple surgeries for many years to come. This is the role PCRF has played in Palestine for over 30 years, to be there for the long term and not just treat the immediate injury or illness and then leave. We intend to continue to be in Gaza for the long haul until we are no longer needed. We are planning for the right now, but we are also planning for the future. We have invested thus far, since October 7th, over $10 million of donor funds in both Gaza and the West Bank on urgent humanitarian relief, thanks to our generous donors from around the world. This relief has included medicines, medical supplies, blankets, hygiene supplies, water, fresh meat like turkey, beef, camel, fresh vegetables, and freshly prepared hot meals through one of our partners, Anera. Several days ago, we purchased and distributed thousands of pounds of flour to families in Gaza with the help of UNRWA. They called PCRF, told us flour was available, and asked us to purchase, and they will distribute. I don't know if you all know this, but flour is a dual-use product. Nobody's allowed to import flour to Gaza because apparently it can be used for other things than baking bread. So the only way PCRF was able to do this was to cooperate with UNRWA. Have them bring it in, we purchase it with donor money, and we distribute it to our families in Gaza. Yesterday, the only thing available to purchase was rice. So we purchased thousands of pounds of rice. We cooked them and we distributed over 2,200 rice plates to children in shelters. We did it again today, and we will continue to do it for as long as we can. Nothing's getting in. You've got 200 trucks waiting on the border in Rafah. Not 200 trucks, thousands of trucks. They say it's going to take 200 days for the last truck to enter Gaza. 200 days. Imagine. So what we did is we chartered a plane about a month ago through the Jordanian military. We transported 1.5 planes of medical supplies that arrived Fil Arish. It took 2 weeks to get them through to Rafah, to UNRWA, who then dispatched the medications to the Ministry of Health, who then supplied whatever hospitals were still in place with these medications. And we're planning on doing it again. If it takes to charter an aircraft to get these supplies there, we're going to charter an aircraft with the assistance of whoever is willing to help. Now, most of what we've purchased in terms of food products has been purchased from within Gaza, for those of you who are wondering how we were able to do this. We purchased whatever products, whatever inventory that we were able to source and procure. But now, the inventory and the supplies have been exhausted. Entry of aid from outside of Gaza has been almost impossible. Almost impossible. But we will continue to try because we do have a semi-waiting with blankets and tents at the entry. But roads are damaged, and convoys carrying this aid are shot at, rendering supplies vital to survival almost non-existent. The humanitarian aid we have provided is only a drop in the bucket of what is needed to recover and rebuild Gaza. It is a task too big for PCRF and too big for any single NGO or any country for that matter. Those of you who have been to Gaza, I was just there in March. It's literally unrecognizable. You look at a picture previous to October 7th, and you look at the pictures now, these neighborhoods that I became familiar with while in Gaza in March, I would never be able to recognize them. It's that bad. It is time for the international community to use all of its influences to end the war, to end this nightmare, to end this catastrophe, to end this onslaught, whatever adjective you want to use, the time is now. Thank you to the representatives that were here today from the state of Colorado. You inspire us. You make us continue to have belief that there are good people in this country willing to help the Palestinians. Feelings of helplessness is understood. I wake up every morning feeling helpless, feeling guilty. I just enjoyed a delicious meal and I tell you, I felt guilty. I look at my children, and somebody mentioned it here just a few minutes ago, and I feel guilty. I think we all feel guilty because we're here safe. We have shelter, we have food, we have health care, and our people in Gaza have none of the above. While we can't do everything, we will continue to do what we can to meet the enormous challenges ahead. This tragedy will ultimately end. I know that, and we know that. But for the generations to come, these 13 weeks, and still counting, 13 weeks of hell and the assaults on the most basic principles of humanity will never, ever be forgotten. Never forget. While Gaza has shown us the worst of humanity, it has also shown a bright light on a population that exemplifies steadfastness, resilience, and many, many examples of true heroes. And you here tonight, the young crowd out there, I salute you. Much respect. It is you that is going to get us through this. God bless you. God bless Palestine. وجزاكم الله خيرا. Thank you.
We'd like to thank Sister Vivian Khalaf for those beautiful words and giving us some more information on a situation which is very dire and very sad. Quickly before we start the fundraiser, we'd like to bring up Brother Abdullah Agha to share some thoughts and some words with us as well. Abdullah is a Palestinian activist and co-founder of the Colorado Palestinian Coalition, and it's El Agha, Abdullah El Agha.
It's El Agha or Il Agha, depending on which country we ended up in when we after the Nakba. But before I get started here, first of all, thank you all for coming out today on a cold Saturday. And thank you so much to all the organizers, all the sponsors, everyone who made this possible. So please give it up for them one more time, guys. And I want to give another shout out to the Palestinian youth that put this on. This group is an amazing group of people. They're doing incredible work. Give it up for them, please. As he said, my name is Abdullah Al Agha, and I'm from Gaza. Well, specifically I'm from Khan Yunis, which is directly west of Gaza. It's a suburb of Gaza. But I still say from Gaza. You know how like some of y'all say you're from Denver, but really you're from Aurora? Like it's kind of like that. I mean, what is really even left to say at this point that hasn't been said about Gaza? You know, I really want to highlight how vibrant and how alive Gaza used to be. I've been to Gaza several times. And it was a beautiful place. Yes, it has been under siege for the past 20 years. And yes, the occupation has been brutal. And yes, there have been lots of losses. But it was also very vibrant. It was very full of life. And if you want to see for yourself, actually my family, we have a family Instagram page. It's alaga.net. The Alagas who got to Europe were the ones who made that one. It's alaga.net. It's on Instagram. You can go check it out. And if you scroll back before October 7th, you see a very different picture of what Gaza was. You know, this page was for us to just kind of keep track of what was going on with our family, you know, births, graduations, weddings. You know, someone gets a really good grade on a test, they would literally post it on the page. It was really cool. That's not what it is anymore. Now the page is pretty much just a running ticker of how many of us have been killed over the past 3 months. Now that page is a live stream of how many families have been clipped from our family tree. 106 is how many have been killed from my family in the past 3 months. 106. A third of them are children. Like 1-year-old Taleen. Taleen was killed on October 10th, 3 days into the aggression. Taleen was in her home with her family when an airstrike hit their home, bringing it down on their heads and killing almost all of them, except for her 12-year-old brother Yahya. Yahya survived, but the next day he died in the hospital. And he died knowing that the rest of his family had been killed too. Some of them are very old. Some of them are older than Israel. Like Khalta Mariha. She was 81 years old. So think about it. She survived the first Nakba. She survived the Naqsa. She survived the first Intifada, the second Intifada, 20 years of siege on Gaza, but she couldn't survive this second Nakba. And let's not make a mistake here. This is a second Nakba. The numbers don't lie. In fact, the numbers are worse than the first Nakba. Twice as many people have been displaced in Gaza in the past 3 months as have been displaced in 1947 during the first Nakba. It is an absolute disaster and an absolute catastrophe. You know, we heard from some doctors earlier. I have doctors in my family. I'm going to tell you guys about Dr. Maisara Reyes. He's on my mom's side of the family. Dr. Maisara was sitting at home with his family before an airstrike hit their house and brought it down on their heads, burying all of them. But they didn't die. All 4 of them, him, his wife, both his kids, were still alive. His 2 brothers, Muhammad and Mu'ayyad, lived just down the street. Immediately they heard the airstrike, they looked outside the window, and they saw that it was their brother's house. So they ran across the street, and they started digging. They started digging through the rubble with their bare hands. And they could hear him down there. They could hear all of them. They could hear all 4 of them screaming, wanting to get out, wanting to live. And they dug and they dug and they dug and they dug for hours until another Israeli airstrike killed Muhammad and Mu'ayyad and buried Dr. Maisara and his family. And as horrible as we think the situation is there right now, it's so much worse because there's this layer to it that we don't quite understand here. You know, I can tell you stories and we can look at the numbers, but we don't really understand the psychological layer of this. My uncle, he got out during the pause. And as he was getting out, this father and his daughter, who were the only surviving members of their family, were also getting out with him. And when they got across the border on the other side to Egypt, there were some aid trucks there, and there were people, you know, handing out aid. And they handed them some water bottles. And my uncle told me this story. He watched the little girl take the water bottle, open it, and take the tiniest sip of water, and then look up at her dad and say, Baba, mumkin ashrab kaman? Dad, can I drink some more? She's used to rationing water for a month and a half. Imagine being a child that forgets how to drink water. I know it can be really hard to hear these things. It's very, very hard to talk about them. And sometimes it feels like there is nothing we can do but give in to despair. But despair is a privilege that we do not have. And I actually feel quite hopeful, believe it or not. I do, I really do. You know, I wear my kufiya almost every time I leave the house, and almost every time someone is like, hey, cool kufiya. Like, hey, I like your kufiya. What? Could you have even imagined that last year? And people all over the world have been fighting this aggression. People have been awakened. Consciousness has been shifted. Here in Denver, we've been out in the streets week after week for the past 13 weeks, and we have no sign of slowing down anytime soon. And you know, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. There's a very long road ahead of us, and that road is paved with sacrifice. We must sacrifice. Yes, there are consequences to the work that we do. I have faced consequences at my job, so I want to shout out Qusayr for having my back when that happened. Elizabeth and Tim have faced consequences. I think Elizabeth kind of undersold what she did at the Capitol that night. I was actually in Chicago. I was up till almost 2 a.m. watching the stream. It was absolutely heartbreaking to see how she was treated by her peers. It was disgusting. But there are consequences, and we must face them. It is our responsibility to bear these consequences, especially given our privilege. We are privileged. We live here in the belly of the beast where our taxes are paying for these bombs that are burying my family alive. We have to bear these consequences. And we have to shift our thinking. How dare we use the occupiers' language? How dare we? I'm not going to condemn anything. Never. How dare we, in the comfort of our homes and our privileged lives, condemn the people who are fighting for our liberation? That's sickening. That's right. We have to change our language. We have to change our thinking. We have to change our mindsets. It's great that people have been donating money. It's amazing. It's wonderful. We should continue to do it. I hope you guys open your pocketbooks and you're very generous tonight. But donating money is easy because you can do it quietly. We have to do the hard things. We have to be loud and we have to be proud. And if there's anyone who can be loud and proud, it's someone who is Palestinian.
That's right.
I know I'm running over a bit here, but I just want to close out by saying, for my Palestinian people out there, be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. Do you know how much sacrifice has led to you being here today? There is an entire industry out there built to destroy us and erase us, and yet despite that, here we are filling out this room right here, and that's amazing. Be true to yourselves, be proud. Don't do the occupiers' work for them. Don't do the colonizers' work for them. Don't use their language. We are Palestinians and we are proud. We are free and we will always be free. Thank you.
Let me hear a free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Jazakallah khair to Brother Abdullah for sharing his words. As we know that this is not just a Palestinian issue, this is an issue for many people and people who are believers of human rights. It's an issue with regards to the beliefs in the Muslim Aqidah. It's something that is mentioned in the Quran. It's something that is talked about by all of the religions and people who are free thinking and people who believe in human rights. And we talk about doing the hard things. For people who believe in God and a creator, we have to be honest with ourselves and we have to return back to God, because there's nothing that is going to happen, not one penny in this room, not one shout of free Palestine is going to happen in success unless God says it's going to happen. He's going to put blessings in it. So if we're going to do the hard things, we have to return back to God. We have to make prayers. We have to raise our hands. We have to say, Ya Allah. We have to purify our hearts. We have to, when someone's dying, we have to say, may God have mercy on them. We have to say, Hasbi Allahu ni'mal wakil. God is enough for us, and He is the one that is going to be the provider and the one who is going to free us from this situation. So connect your rope. If all of the ropes, if you learn nothing else from the people of Gaza, they said, we have kufr of the United Nations. We disbelieve in the United Nations. We disbelieve in the United States. We disbelieve in the Arab councils. And we believe in the Creator. And we amanna billah. We believe in the Creator. So as we go through the night and as we remember, this is bigger than all of every single one of us. And God will have His way and His will be done until His kingdom come. But where are we from remembering God, and where are we from helping ourselves and helping our generations? At this time, I would like to call up Brother Anwar Zuraigat, who is the business director at Crescent View Academy, who will help us to galvanize and finalize all of these efforts and these emotions and this delicious food and this blessings in this place into something that we can, for the sake of God and for the sake of our brothers, do some good in this evening. With that, I bring Brother Anwar Zuraigat. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessing be upon you. And I thank you so much for being here. May God have blessings on you, all of you. My brothers and sisters in humanity, thank you so much. And Jazakumullahu khairan for being here, for being on the right side. And I know it's late, so we're not going to be long. I promise we will do it very fast. And you are all here tonight despite the propaganda that has been fueled all over the world, despite the billions that was sent in propaganda to change the truth. And when we look at our Quran and what came and was revealed about Moses, you know that propaganda happened before. In Surah Al-Shu'ara, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when the Pharaoh saw Moses asking for the truth, he sent فَأَرْسَلَ فِرْعَوْنُ فِي الْمَدَائِنِ حَاشِرِينَ. The Pharaoh sent people all over. He needs media coverage to collect people, to make sure he tells people that Moses is evil. And what he said, إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ لَشِرْذِمَّةٌ قَلِيلُونَ. Those are very few people, and they're awful people. They are not good people. Moses and whoever believed in God with him are awful people. So that's what the Pharaoh was doing to the children of Israel at that time. And of course, the Pharaoh, being the good man, of course, regardless that he killed women, children, infants, he killed every male born in the children of Israel. What was his message? His message was, وَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ ذَرُونِي أَقْتُلْ مُوسَى إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُبَدِّلَ دِينَكُمْ أَوْ يُظْهِرَ فِي الْأَرْضِ الْفَسَادِ. And the Pharaoh, his message, look at the propaganda. His message was, let me kill Musa. Let me commit genocide. finish Musa and his people. Let's finish Moses. Let's commit genocide. Let's clean him. Because why did he want to commit that genocide, the Pharaoh? Sounds familiar? إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُبَدِّلَ دِينَكُمْ. I am worried that he's gonna change your religion, or I am worried أو يظهر في الأرض الفساد, that he is going to bring corruption to the land. That was the fear of the Pharaoh. He was worried that Moses will bring corruption to the land. That was his propaganda. And those stories are told to us by God the Almighty, not just to tell stories, to inform us that this will happen. And there will be tyrants who want to commit genocide. There will be tyrants who will say the good people are sending corruption. Because according to the Pharaoh, Moses and the believers are corrupt people who will destroy land. And today, I thank each and every one of you because you chose to be on the right side. You chose to be on the side where the propaganda did not affect you. My brothers and sisters in humanity, you have come today knowing you are here to support the truth. You are here to write your legacy with yourself, because there is a legacy to be written. One day you will look in the mirror and say, I was on the right side. And I know everybody covered what's happening in Gaza, and you know what's happening in Gaza. And today you are here to prove to yourself that as a human, you are a great human. As a human, inshallah, you will be a blessed human. And we have Muslims and Christians together living here and coming together in one whole to stand on the right side. And as Muslims, we do not differentiate between non-Muslims and between Muslims, except for those who agree to the killing. So as a non-Muslim or a Muslim, we are together in peace and harmony. We love each other. We live together. We eat in each other's homes, and we are one community, except for those who encourage the killing. Those are not our friends. Those are not the people that we will be with or we will appreciate. We appreciate being together, inshallah. May Allah and I have been speaking and fundraising, and I've always fundraised citing the words of God, Allah, and the Quran, and the words of His Messenger. And I was looking at some of the news and the hadith that came to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And imagine this today. The Prophet, our Prophet, narrated on the children of Israel. He's talking about people from the children of Israel, from the past, from what was revealed to him. Somebody went to hellfire because of a cat. And this is in Sahih al-Bukhari. That person locked the cat up and left it without food, without water. And that person went to hellfire eventually when he died, or she died. And then our Prophet narrated to us, also talking about the children of Israel, a man went to heaven. He was eternity in heaven because of a dog. Just because of a dog. Imagine. He found that dog. دخل رجل الجنة في كلب. He found that dog, and that's also in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. He found the dog that was thirsty. And he got his shoes and filled them with water and put water to the dog and saved the life of a dog. That alone sent him to heaven. And this is news about the children of Israel. You are here today to be on the right side. Allah the Almighty said in Quran, من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل. And I chose the verses that talk about the children of Israel. And for whoever follows them. أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. Think about that for a minute. And we have ordained on the children of Israel that whoever kills one soul without being for a punishment, whoever kills one soul, it's as if he kills the entire humanity. And look at this part. And whoever saves one soul, it's as if he saved the entire humanity. You are here today to save souls. You are here today to generously donate to save souls. Imagine if you save one soul, it's as if you saved the entire humanity. Imagine how many souls are you going to save today? And that is why we ask you today to be generous and to give above your abilities. Now, Allah the Almighty, God said in the Quran, وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. You love money. That's who we are. We love money. Everybody loves money. That's how He created us, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's how we are. But it is the challenge. Where are we able to get over this love of money to save somebody's life? We heard the stories today. People are losing their life. All we're going to have to do is lower our bank accounts by a little bit. That's what we're doing. We're writing a check. We are using credit card. Money is money, comes and goes. So today, inshallah, I'm going to start, inshallah, and we need the real sacrifice. A month ago, we had a fundraiser for Crescent View Academy, and we saw high school students donating 500, 600, 1,000, 700, high school students from their savings. So today, we're going to be very generous, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. And we need to ask your generosity to support this cause, inshallah. And we're going to start with, by the way, I don't have the goal over here on the screen, but so far we have commitments of 116,000. Some of you paid online, and some of you didn't pay online. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Our goal is to exceed 200,000. To be honest with you, Sister Rima told me, you cannot leave today before we collect 250,000. So 250,000 is the goal for tonight. And say Bismillah, in the name of Allah, we will start with $50,000. So we're going to start with $50,000 because we need those big hitters, and I need your attention for 10 to 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and we will be done. Inshallah Rabbil Alameen. Who is here willing to donate $50,000 tonight, inshallah? MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar. Brother Saeed Wahdan, the father of Sister Rima, $50,000. MashaAllah. May God, Allah the Almighty bless you. May Allah, Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. اللهم بارك له في ولده اللهم بارك له في ماله. Wallahi, brothers and sisters in humanity, God the Almighty says in the Quran, ما نقص مال من صدقة. There is no money that will be lessened by sadaqah. And subhanallah, you have people who are giving generously, because Brother Saeed, for your information, gave $50,000 to Crescent View Academy just a month ago. It wasn't even a month ago, mashallah. And tonight he gives another $50,000. May Allah bless him, and I need everybody to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and God to bless him. Ameen. Jazakallah khair, Brother Saeed. And Brother Saeed also donated the food. And his daughter, mashallah, Dr. Rima, organized most of this. So we have now 100, I'm going to start counting here, 116 and 50, $166,000. Now, like Brother Saeed gave, you know, I just want to let you something in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran speaks, and this is, everybody, you could look at it and look at this, and whether you believe in Islam or you're not, you look at this verse. There is one thing a human wish that they could do when they die. One thing only. It is donating, helping others. Nobody would wish that you came back and prayed more, or you fasted more, or you did anything more other than helping others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْمَوْتُ فَيَقُولَ رَبِّ لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَى أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ فَأَصَّدَّقَ وَأَكُنْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. And the Prophet ﷺ said, مَا نَقَصَ مَالُ عَبْدٍ مِنْ صَدَقَةٍ. Your money will not be lessened by charity. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You will not reach piety. You will not reach belief unless you spend from what you love. From what you love. What you love is what you would do for yourself. Like you buy a house, you buy a car for 40,000, you do something like that, great for yourself. Are you willing to give, to help others, the same way you do it for yourself? If you're able to do that, that's where you reach the belief. So next we need somebody to give $30,000 so we could reach our $250,000. Who is going to be the next $30,000, inshallah? $30,000, you could do it, inshallah, and we could, if you could turn that off, actually. Yeah, it's right in the middle of my eyes. Do we have $30,000? Anybody will do $30,000, inshallah? Even if you were coming to give a little less, turn it up a notch and we will reach our goal, inshallah. Say Bismillah. ما نقص مال عبد من صدقة. It's coming back to you. So could we go 30,000? Bismillah. Going once? Okay, we'll go $25,000. Who is the $25,000 here? Bismillah. $25,000. And do we have Jazakallah khair, Brother Ashraf, Brother Firas, Brother Bashar, Brother Sakar, everybody? We have Little Angels and Creative Learning Academy, $25,000. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Takbir. Takbir. MashaAllah. Great. May Allah bless them and bless their families and bless their offspring. May Allah grant him Jannah, all of them. They have been supporters of this community for a long, long time, and they support everywhere as well. Jazakumullah khair. Any of those are online or no? They are online already? So that's all of them online? All 25,000 online?
Huh.
Okay. Is it all online, those 25,000?
No, we have it.
No.
No, we have it. It's a check.
Okay. All right. So it's not counted online. We're counting. We need to reach 250,000. Everybody. Nobody's going home tonight before we collect $250,000. That's good. So we are now. We are at $191,000. MashaAllah. Takbir. Takbir. Okay, so next I want to mention a couple of ayahs. God the Almighty said, indeed, God will give you blessings and money. Money is a trust. It's a trust that you are entrusted with. So that trust, it's up to you what to do. And remember, people are losing their hands. People are losing their legs. You're sending medicine. You're sending necessary things to make people survive. It's just money. Do we have a $20,000 donor? We have, mashallah, the brothers put 25 and put 50. We need $20,000 donor. And if you have it, God the Almighty will give it back to you. There is no question about it. I promise you. It will come back to you. Do we have a $20,000 donor? I know we have $10,000 donors, but we need $20,000 donor. And even if you came planning 10,000, you could do 20,000 inshallah. Who is going to be the next donor, the next generous person, the next person that will have his sadaqah as his dhill? The Prophet ﷺ said, ظِلُّ الْمُؤْمِنِ صَدَقَتُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. The shade of a believer at the day of judgment, the shade of a person who believed and gave and helped other, is his charity at the day of judgment. Who's the next one? Do we have $20,000 donor? Do we have $15,000 donors? 15,000. Do we have 15,000? Bismillah. Any $15,000 donors? Do we have 15,000? What does the online look like now? Do we know? Do you have in your phone? Do we have any? Did anybody scan the code there and donate it online? You could do that as well. 127 other than what we're including or other? Okay, so we sent WhatsApp messages a few moments ago as well. 127 and we have here 75. We are at $100,000, $200,000. MashaAllah. Takbir. Sure.
Okay. It's not that I'm donating $15,000. Let me be very clear about that. But I'm trying to save 2 people from a $500 towing ticket. If your vehicle is with the license plate AWN X74, you parked parallel to the bar that's across the street. And if your car is COB029, these are mini sedans. So you need to move your car ASAP. Thank you.
Can you repeat the license?
Sorry. Yes, that $500 that you would have been charged is going to PCRF. And I'm about to point you out. Y'all know I'm shameless around this. Okay, COB, Charlie Ostrich Bravo, 029. AWN, Alex Win Now, X74. Oh my God, it's one's a Chevy, little mini cars.
Chevy? Mazda. A Chevy and a Mazda. You know, the thing is, subhanallah, when you have money, it could go anyways. Either you plan to donate it, or it could go. I'm serious, it happens. It happens. You know, you never know. Wallahi, God will bless you and protect you with your good intention and helping others. There is protection. There's no question about it. Believe it. Okay, we're gonna go to the first $10,000 donor, Dr. Khalid Mansour. Jazakallahu khairan. Dr. Khalid Mansour, $10,000. We are 212,000. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Say Ameen, everybody. When I make dua, try to say Ameen. Oh Allah, bless Dr. Khalid.
Ameen.
May Allah protect him and his family.
Ameen.
May Allah protect his sons and his daughter.
Ameen.
May Allah open risk for him from the widest skies. Ameen. Okay, and the second $10,000 is Brother online or not yet? MashaAllah, second home, by the way, Sister Haneen donated 20,000 and now another 10. That is $30,000 from second home daycare. Takbir. 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 May Allah bless Sister Haneen. And I am sure a lot of you know Sister Haneen. Sister Haneen is a true believer. She has a heart of gold, actually better than gold. Sister Haneen will support quietly from behind doors. She will always do her, and I need everybody's attention. We're gonna wrap up quickly. So now we are at $222. May Allah bless Sister Haneen. May Allah give her risk from the widest door ever. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. May Allah bless her family. May Allah bless her son. May Allah bless her daughters. May Allah bless Sister Haneen tremendously. Allahumma ameen. So we are at 222,000 because her first 20,000 was online. The third $10,000 is from,
We're also accepting cash. We're going to be going around and asking for anybody for cash. Go ahead and donate. Thank you.
Yeah, actually I have some cash in the wallet. Somebody gave me cash. Yeah. Who's the third $10,000? The third $10,000 we have Rising Star and Little Boot, $10,000. Takbir. Brother Jamal and Mazen Awad, جزاهم الله خيرا. اللهم أعط منفقا خلفا. اللهم بارك لهم في أموالهم. اللهم بارك لهم في أولادهم. اللهم أعط منفقا خلفا. ما شاء الله. Also, Brother Mazen and Jamal both donated a month ago. By the way, notice something. All the people who donated tonight are the people who are donating everywhere. And somehow they're not going broke. Wallahi, it will get back to you if you have it. There's no question about it. Or you will get a ticket and your car is towed and all of that stuff. Yeah. And you'll slip and break your leg. Who knows? You know? May Allah protect all of you and bless you all. I hope nothing bad happens to anybody. So we are at $232,000. We need to keep going here so we could reach the 275,000. The next $10,000. Okay, I need everybody's attention. If we could, we don't accept cash at this time. The cash lady, cash bucket. We're not doing cash. I need you to come back here. Come back here for a minute. We're gonna do cash at the end. Lock the doors, nobody leaves. Okay, next. The next $10,000 is from Brother Muhammad Asif Mimon and Sister Asma Mimon. They are not here tonight, but we went to them and they said $10,000. Takbir. Takbir. And Sister Rima, inshallah, tomorrow they're bringing the money to the school and you could have it from me. Brother Muhammad Asif Mimon and Sister Asma Mimon. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Allahumma barik lahum fi amwalihim. Allahumma barik lahum fi awladihim. Allahumma ameen. And brothers and sisters, we are very close to our goal. 275 is just around the corner. Who is the next $10,000 now? Now, I am unaware of any other 10,000s, but wallahi, you can do it. If you were gonna give 5,000, you could go to 10,000. Believe me, you can do it. It will get back to you. ما نقص مال عبد من صدقة وما أنفقتم من شيء فهو يخلفه. Whatever you spend for the sake of God to help others, God will replace it for you. Allah will replace it. It will go. Do we have another 10,000? We know we have 5,000, but do we have 10,000? We can do it for the sake of Gaza, inshallah. Say Bismillah. توكل على الله. الرزق من Allah. Allah will send you the rizq. Let's do 10,000 so we could go to the fives, inshallah. MashaAllah. Yeah, we're going to get to the five in a minute. Is this anonymous or announced?
Announced.
Okay. So, who's the next 10,000? Say Bismillah. Let's go. Who's the next 10,000? Let's go. Going once? If you don't donate 10,000, you're gonna miss on it, because if you miss on it, wallahi, it's your loss. Who's gonna put 10,000? What? By the way, the real investment for a human is the donation he gives. That's the real investment. Because money you could invest, you have a house, you have a car, you leave it to your kids. All of that stays, but what really makes you feel good? Saving. How good do you feel when you have saved the well-being of a human? And we are at now, what? 242,000. So we need to reach the 275. It's not going to be difficult. We reach 242 real quick. Next, going once, going twice. Okay, so the first $10,000. Who is the first $10,000? We have here Brother Rami Yusuf, Jazakallahu Khairan, and Sister Shireen Khawaja. Takbir. Takbir. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Amin is free. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. اللهم بارك لهم في أموالهم. اللهم بارك لهم في أولادهم. اللهم احفظ سلمى. اللهم احفظ بلال. اللهم احفظ يوسف. May Allah bless Bilal and Salma and Yusuf and protect them. May Allah bless their beautiful house. Also, they donated a month ago to CBA the same thing. Jazakum Allahu khairan. The next $5,000. Do we have another 5,000? Ali Baba, do we have 5 or no? MashaAllah, Brother Sakar, he paid it already. Jazakallahu khairan. Ali Baba, by the way, in Amman, the best hummus is al-kalha and whatever. Ali Baba hummus, Ali Baba on Buckley, wallahi, it's better than al-kalha. You want to taste the best hummus, not in America, and I am not exaggerating, because you went to Chicago and you tasted Sahara and whatever. Wallah, their hummus is better. Wallahi, it's better. I am saying it, and I give it a true testimony. The best hummus you will ever taste, go to Ali Baba who can grill. Okay? Inshallah, and with new ownership, Brother Sakar, inshallah. MashaAllah. Round of applause for Ali Baba. Jazakallah khair. Okay. So, with that, but that's already online. Okay, we are stuck at 242,000. We need more money. Do we have more? Okay, let's pause on the fundraising. Let's figure out the car.
I'm sorry, there's 2 people that are currently being blocked in by a gray Lexus. It's a gray Lexus, AGU F11. Oh, okay. All right, now let's get $8,000. Here we go. Because to get to 250.
You
275. It's 270. Okay, we are at 242. Okay, who's the next 5,000? Let's move quickly to the 2,500. Who's the next 5,000? Come on. MashaAllah, Brother Ali Mogul, $5,000. Takbir. Takbir. By the way, we had Mile High Custom. Now we have 2018 Custom. If you want your car to be tinted, to be polished, to be anything for your car, you have 218 Customs. It's here, it's in Westminster, so it's on the west side. Anything you need for your car, 218 Custom. Brother Ali, is this online already or no? Okay, so we are at $248,000. We are only 27,000 short. That's all we need. 5,000? MashaAllah, takbir. اللهم أعط منفقا خلفا اللهم بارك لها في مالها اللهم بارك لها في أولادها. Is this online or not online? It's not online, so we are 253, mashallah. What's the name? Oh, mashallah, it's Yazan's mom. Yeah. You know, because Yazan deserves 10,000. Wallahi, he deserves 10,000. You know. Mashallah. That's on top of it. Mashallah. And we have Brother Firas and his partners who just donated 25, another $5,000. Takbir. 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 So we are at $258,000. MashaAllah. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Allahumma barik lahu fi malih. Allahumma barik lahu fi waladih. I left Brother Firas a couple of voicemails and he didn't get back to me, and look, he came and paid anyways. MashaAllah. The generous is generous. He will come and pay it no matter what. MashaAllah. We are at 258. That will leave us what, $17,000 short. Okay, 17,000 is nothing. We can do it with no problem whatsoever. Okay, so we need $17,000, $2,000, 8 people of 2,000, or you know, something like that. MashaAllah, $2,000 there. Is it online already or no? MashaAllah, $2,000. Takbir! Takbir! Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. That's 260. We are at 260. The next 2,000. MashaAllah, brother. MashaAllah, takbir. Takbir. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Allahumma barik lahu fi malih. Allahumma barik lahu fi waladih. So we are at 265,000. Look, they donated 25, then 5 and 5 and 5. It became 40,000. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God opens on people. We are at 200, how much we said? 265. We are at 265. We have 10,000 left only. 2,000, the next 2,000. Let's say Bismillah. Who's the next 10,000? MashaAllah, Brother Sel, Brother Rajai, sir, $2,000. Takbir. Takbir. Brother Rajai, is it online or no? We're counting. Huh? Not yet, it's not online. So we are at 267,000. Where is the next 2,000? Next 2,000, Bismillah. MashaAllah, khalas tamam. Okay, we have $3,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 270,000, and Brother Ashraf said 270,000, and we are done, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Now, where's the cash lady? Where's the cash lady? Attack. Okay. So now we have a quick auction, inshallah, and over here we're gonna start. We have 1 kilo of silver, 1 kilo, 2.2 pounds of silver. It's worth $760, and we're willing to give it to you for $760. Who's taking it? Brother Sucker. It's Brother Suckers. Huh? Brother Sucker is taking it for $2,000. Takbir. So we are at 273. Here.
You want more than 2,000? More?
No, it's Brother Sucker's 2,000. Just deliver it to Brother Sucker. We have here a gold ring that has the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God the Almighty, you know, of Allah. Here, a gold ring. And how much is it worth? Huh? This is starting $350. Gold ring. Who would like this gold ring for $350? It has the name of Allah. Okay, mashallah. Muhammad Jabai, $350.
How much? 500.
500, Brother Ali. Brother Muhammad. 1,000? Huh? 600. 700. 800 here.
900.
900. Muhammad, you're gonna pay 1,000.
He's out.
Okay, 900 for Brother Ali Mughal. Brother Ali Mughal, 900. We are at 275,000, mashallah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, who's next? What do we have next? We have... We have a hanging, a pendant. You could hang it in your necklace. The name of Allah. The name of Allah was starting with what?
150?
Oh, what is that? That is
the ring. That's the ring.
That's Brother Ali Mughal. Give it to him. Starting 150, 150. You could hang it. The name of Allah. Who's taking it for 150? You hang it in with your. Do we have 150? I have hands.
Ali Mughal.
You missed the ring. You lost the ring. You take this one. It's $150. Muhammad Jabai. MashaAllah. May Allah bless Muhammad Jabai and bless all his friends. Great group of kids, MashaAllah. And then how much is this? This is, by the way, it's very heavy.
Handmade.
It's handmade. It's like 50-pound marble. It's beautiful. It's $500 only. Take it and I'll let you all leave. MashaAllah. Wow. Brother Firas Umair, $500. 600 here. 700.
1,000.
تقدر الهوش.
1,000. 1,000 here.
2,000 there. 2,000. Congratulations. MashaAllah. اللهم أعطي منفقا خلفا. أعطيه. $2,000 over there. Takbir. Takbir. And at the end of the night, Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah bless you. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, all we have to sacrifice is our money. Alhamdulillah. We have people who have to sacrifice their limbs, their lives. Alhamdulillah, we only sacrifice money. May God bless all of you. May God bless each and every one of you. May God have protection on each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming. And we reached, by the way, about 290.
Okay, Jazakallah khair to all of the organizers, for all of our attendees. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your generosity. We make a dua at the end of this gathering. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكون مع إخواننا في غزة وفي فلسطين اللهم ارحم موتاهم وعاف مبتلاهم آمين مجانا يا جماعة واشف مرضاهم وداوي جرحاهم وتقبل شهداءهم اللهم واربط على قلوبهم اللهم واربط على قلوبهم وثبت أقدامهم اللهم طهر مسجد الأقصى من أيدي الغاصبين واجعل لنا صلاة فيها قبل الممات يا رب العالمين وردنا إليك ردا جميلا وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جزاكم الله خير.
Long live Palestine. Long live Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
والشهيد حبيب الله لا إله إلا الله والشهيد حبيب الله تحيا غزة تحيا غزة 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 بلد العزة أرسل فلسطين leave Palestine.
Everybody, please don't forget to stop downstairs on your way out. We have merchandise, we have jewelry, we have market goods, we have t-shirt printing, we got it all. We have a museum that's beautiful, check it out. And 100% of all sales go to donation as well. And last thing, everyone get home safe, stay warm, and we'll see you at the next event, inshallah. Thank you.